Coming to you live from Rublin Studio in Brooklyn, New York. The hot new internet talk show, Know Yourself, where we inform you, inspire you, and encourage you to know yourself. And here to help you do just that, your host, Mr. Brian McCoy.
Hey everybody, welcome back. My next guest is not only a mom, but she's a CEO of a company called DHH. It stands for Deaf, Hard, and Hearing Teen Program. Miss Angie Jeffries, how are you?
I'm fine.
Good, good. Listen, DHH, Deaf, Hard of Hearing Teen Recreation Program. How did this all start? How did this come about?
I got the general idea because, like you said, I am a parent of a deaf child. My daughter, she was diagnosed as being deaf from an infant. You know, she went through the whole early intervention process and hearing aids and special schools and so forth and so on. Through her disability, it actually was a blessing for me because I actually found a career from her disability. And I went back to school and I furthered my education. Started out with an associate's from Kingsborough College. They had a deaf program with a scholarship, and my GPA was so good I was eligible for that. Got a scholarship to NYU, went and got my bachelor's from NYU in speech language pathology and audiology. Then I went further and got a master's in special and general education. Now I'm working on my second master's to be a speech pathologist. And for the last 8 years, I've been working with the deaf and hard of hearing, autistic kids, any type of disability. That's my area of concentration now because of my daughter. So the group of teenagers that I had on my caseload, I fell in love with them, you know, and they kind of was like the forgotten population in school. So we would have like dance festivals every year, and they would always include all the other kids, but they never included the deaf kids. So I used to give my students that was on my caseload homework to go home and watch the videos and learn all the dances that you can, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna kill them. So they really looked up to me. They didn't even really call me Miss Jeffries, they called me Mom because I was so involved with them. They went home, they learned those dances, and every year since they was dancing, they always came in first place.
Wow.
So I promised myself and I promised them that I wouldn't, let them go. They graduated and, we kept in contact, but I just really wanted to do something more for them because a lot of them is like underprivileged. Their families don't really know sign language. They don't really get exposed to a lot of things, and it's just by the grace of God that my daughter, through me, she's exposed to all these things, but a lot of kids that's out there that's deaf, they don't really have that opportunity. So I said, you know what, I'm not going to consider my daughter's disability as a curse. I'm going to consider it as a blessing, and I'm going to help her in addition to helping other kids, and that's exactly what I did. So I came up with the program to have a Saturday and Sunday program for the teenagers so they could just get together and mingle and be around their peers so they wouldn't feel, isolated. So that's basically what the program is about, just really so they could gather together and be amongst their peers on Saturday and Sunday. We don't meet every Saturday and Sunday because I'm still in graduate school, so I'm like only one person can do but so much. But as soon as I'm finished, I'm gonna go full force and have the program every week. But in addition to that, since we don't meet every week, we meet sometimes and we'll go to the movies or we'll go out to dinner, just so I could just keep that close knit, with them. And that's the gist of the program. It's free. It's for teenagers 13 to 21. We'll go to different activities, museums, just anything that they could just mingle and get together.
That day when you gave birth and the doctors came and told you that your daughter was deaf, what went through your mind?
Well, actually, they didn't tell me. I told them.
Really?
Yeah. She was premature. I had her at 8 months, 4 pounds, 16 ounces. She had to stay in the hospital for a little while. And she was diagnosed first as being microcephalic. That's having a small, like all of the parts of her brain wasn't fully developed.
Right.
So they told us that first because she had a real small head circumference. They do all the measurements and stuff. So I didn't know that she was deaf when we left the hospital. But I just noticed that she was really, really quiet. She didn't really cry as much. And people say, oh, you got such a good baby. She don't cry. It's because she was deaf. I didn't know. But one day, somebody turned the stereo on. Everybody jumped, and she didn't jump. So from then, I got her tested, and it was just that's where it started.
How did knowing who you are, knowing yourself, help you to come to the conclusion that not only did you want to help your daughter, but you wanted to take it a next step further and build a career behind this to whereas not only can you help your daughter, but you can help other kids.
To be honest with you, it really goes back to my spiritual belief. You know, like, I'm really, really spiritually grounded. Like, I believe the word and I take it wholeheartedly, you know. So I just felt like, you know, you come up and you hear the scriptures, you hear the sermons over and over again. I could do all things through Christ that strengthens me. God don't put no more on you than can bear. So all of those scriptures came back to me, you know. And I also remember, like, you know, like in all things, you just have to give thanks to God, you know. I mean, in the street, they say, well, you know, if life throws you a lemon, add sugar and make lemonade. Same thing.
Right.
So I kind of took it at that. And I never really wanted to give myself a pity party. I don't give my daughter a pity party. And, you know, she probably would never be able to do algebra, but that's okay because I can't do algebra either. You know, so, exactly. So, but she is really, really a miracle baby. She really is. The doctors, they said she wouldn't ride a bike, she wouldn't do this, she wouldn't do that. One of the last diagnoses was that she was blind, she couldn't see. So every diagnosis that she have, I'm like, okay. Her father, which is not a believer, which is understandable, he's like, oh God, you know. I'm like, no, you don't do that. Every diagnosis that she had from day one, I make the devil out of her life. So I said, okay, well, since she can't see, I'm going to put her on the boardwalk with her bicycle, and she's going to ride. And you ain't never seen a blind person ride a bike the way she do. So, you know, it's like, I'm, you know, my faith in God is really, really, really strong. And it's just no limits to what I think that she cannot do. She helps me cook, she helps me clean, she does so much. They have a lot of resources for children that have disabilities, especially the autistic population. And you have more autistic kids than you have deaf and hard of hearing. It's like out of every 100 kids, one kid is autistic. Like, I don't know why it's like that now, but there's a lot of autistic kids, and there's a lot of autistic programs. Even if they can't get, you know, into deaf and hard of hearing, they have the autism programs. They have a lot of things out there, but you have to be an advocate for your child. You know, even like since I work in this population and I work with a lot of autistic kids or mentally retarded, just the whole special ed component. When I have my parent workshops, I always let them know you have to work with your kid. You can't leave it up to us as the professionals because it's, for a lot of them, unfortunately, it's just a job.
Right.
For me, I take it a little more personal, you know, and I go the extra mile because I understand, you know, what they go through because I've walked in their shoes.
Right.
But I tell them all the time, you are your child's first teacher and you can't leave it up to the school to do it. You just can't. Some of them, you know, do it and some of them don't. And the results of the ones that don't, the kids, they sit there, they don't really, you know, succeed and prosper the way they should. And the ones that do, you have stories like my daughter.
That's wonderful. We'll be right back with more of Angie Jeffries. Hi, welcome back. We're here with Angie Jeffries. Angie, tell me a little bit of the education that you have. Like, where did it all start and how far have you gone thus far?
As I said previously, I started out as going to Kingsborough College. Had no idea really what I wanted to do. And I kind of went because I was just going through changes in life, you know, as we all do. And it was my mother-in-law who really inspired me to go to school.
Really?
So I went to school, and I was one, like, after I get out of high school, I'm never going to school. College, oh no, I'm not going to college, not me, I'm getting a job. But I went to school, and I liked it. And I went as a returning adult, so I wasn't in a lunchroom playing spades with everybody. I was really serious about my education, and I was doing really, really well. I maintained a 3.0 GPA the entire time I was there, so I was eligible for, it was called the CC Top Scholarship. Okay. And I kept in close contact with the grade advisors there, and they had a scholarship. I was telling them that I was interested in sign language and special ed and stuff because my daughter was already born at that time. So they said NYU had a program. I was saying, NYU? I can't go there.
Expensive.
Like, oh no. Like, I was just scared of the name. I'm like, I can't. Because for me, going to Kingsborough was almost like going to the 13th grade. It wasn't really that intimidating, so I was able to deal with that. But going to a university like that, I was like, no. Got accepted to NYU. Did really, really well at NYU. I mean, I had a 4.0 GPA.
Wow.
I was on the dean's list. And I did really, really well because I was really, really serious about, you know, my education. My thing was, the more I know with the speech and hearing component, whatever, I could really help my daughter. Like, that was my main goal.
I said, wow, when she said that she got accepted to NYU, But I'm gonna change that because we need to see more of our people in colleges, universities such as NYU. So take that back. I'm not saying wow. I'm saying congratulations and kudos to Angie, and so should you, because we need more of our own people in universities just like that.
From NYU, I went to Toro College, and I got my master's in special and general education.
Wonderful.
And then from there, I took a little break, and now I'm currently enrolled at St. John's University, which is extremely expensive. And I'm getting my second master's in speech language pathology and audiology. So when I finish, I won't be a speech teacher, I'll be a speech therapist.
Excellent.
So I can open up my own practice, and that's when I'm going to really go full force with the program and everything, you know, and that's what it is.
Now, is there like a doctorate program that you know, they have for this that you may go into?
Yeah, everybody is saying that,
I say go for it. I say go for it.
I'm so tired of being in school. But you know, I said that when I was in Kingsborough, and I'm still in school. So more than likely, I probably will be Dr. Jeffries one day.
I say go for it. I say go for it.
Yeah.
That's excellent. That is really excellent.
Really
It just goes to show you what determination, hard work will do. You understand? You put your mind to something, it became a passion and a personal thing with you, and look how far it's gotten you.
Yeah, it's really, really gotten me far. And mind you, speech pathology, if you Google it, it's like one of the highest paying professions. It's like, it seemed like God really, really set me up. This is why we have to really, really be careful when we complain about trials and tribulations that we go through in our life, because we could be blocking our own blessing. You know, like, I couldn't even imagine making what I make right now. And I don't even have my master's in speech. So, I mean, God has really, really, really been good.
We're put on this earth to be a blessing, not just only to ourselves, but to so many others. And do you not know how many children and parents and lives you're going to be able to affect and change because of your program, because of your determination?
In addition to the program, like I'm in graduate school, I work for the Board of Ed, I'm as a speech teacher, but I also work for an early intervention agency. I do speech therapy, I go to people's homes, I work with the children from 0 to 3. And every household that I go to, the parents are so distraught. Oh, my child, they don't speak, they don't do this, they don't do that. And I'm able to share my testimony and my story every single time, and I give them some level of hope.
Right.
And, you know, and at the end of, you know, the case or whatever, 3, 4, 5 months, however long it is, you know, the child is talking, and I'm like, remember when? You know, so it's good because it's easier for you to talk to somebody who already have walked that walk. You know, you don't want to talk to somebody, that's like talking to somebody who never was married and they giving you counsel on being married. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I really, really think that God chose me for this profession and for this time, for this population.
And I believe he has too, because the testimony that you have is like, you know, it's going to help so many people. I mean, it's going to help and change so many lives, so many family lives, because there are so many people, families out there who are dealing with children who have disabilities and who really don't know how to handle or even deal. And now you have this gift and this talent and this company that you can share with them and impart to them to where, you know, their lives can change. You understand? So we'll be right back with more from Angie Jeffries. Welcome back. We're here with more of Angie Jeffries. Angie, I want you to tell the people, how can they get in contact with you for your program, for just if they just want counseling, if they just want to talk to you, if they just want to hear your testimony? How can they reach you?
Well, they can send me an email at dhhteam@aol.com, or they can reach me at on a cell number 347-385-7880. And I'm open to talk to anyone at any time in reference to any disability, because that's my passion, and I think I was chosen to do that.
So listen, everyone, for you family members, parents who may have a child who has some type of disability and you're having a hard time dealing, coping, give Angie a call. Send her an email. She can give you her testimony, she can counsel you, she can talk to you, she could probably even get you into the program to help you deal and cope with your child and push your child to a level that you probably wouldn't even think that they can reach. So listen, that's it for our show today. I thank you. I thank my guest Angie Jeffries for coming by. I thank you for Ms. Sade Newkirk, my earlier guest. And I just want to say to everyone, stay tuned, keep an eye out, know yourself, and we'll see you real soon. Peace.